Hi, everybody. I'm Bryan Mudd. A fan of South Plains politics. Here's your talking points for this week. Commodity prices, not great. And while farmers wonder about what to plant and how to keep things running, word of a new aid package that might just save the day. And oil prices, really not great. And with no industry bailouts in the foreseeable future here, we'll look back at the week that blew out the latest oil boom.
From the studios of KAMC Television in Lubbock, your local election headquarters. This is Talking Points with Bryan Mudd.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Also this week, go time. The task forces have done their work, and now we wait for the official announcements of when, where, why, and how more businesses will start to reopen. That'll happen starting with the governor tomorrow. All indications are that this will be a gradual, phased-in process, few sectors at a time with safety precautions still in place, and that'll be the key. Because you get the idea from listening to the governor this week on KAMC that if coronavirus cases begin to suddenly spike again here, which some people fear, then the governor is reserving the right to put the brakes on this reopening.
We have a comprehensive medical team to make sure that every strategy we make is going to be one that will be safe. And we're going to do it in this way, and that is we're not going to open up the entire economy all at once. We're going to open up businesses a little bit at a time while monitoring what's going on with the spread of the coronavirus, making sure that we are being safe, that we are not accelerating the spread of the coronavirus in Texas.
The governor's announcement Monday will be followed by a meeting of the Lubbock City Council on Tuesday to go over the recommendations of the local task force. Although there really aren't any indications at this point that Lubbock will do anything against the direction of the governor. The West Texas Mayor's Coalition did write up this letter to the governor this week asking officially that every business that can open be able to open. And this interesting part, the mayor stating that each city should analyze its own local real-time data to surgically adjust its methods to mitigate the implications of the outbreak while navigating the economic implications. In other words, we take care of our details ourselves, and the local control fight continues.
Now, we'll continue to make decisions that are based on fact. We'll use common sense and all the information that we have available. Our decisions will continue to be based on values and our principles. I don't have all the answers. I'm thankful that I get to collaborate with experts. I get other people's ideas. I'm able to search out best practices.
And former Lubbock Mayor Mark McDougal was part of the governor's strike force to take part in opening up the state and joins us now on the phone. Mark, it's good to talk to you. Let's go through some of the process that you went through over the last several days. Now, as I understand it, a lot of you were put to work in smaller groups. What was your focus over the past week?
Well, we, this all started 10 days ago or so when we had our first strike force meeting with the governor. There's roughly 38 across the state on it. The governor made gave us our task, our instructions, and Brad Heffington from Littlefield is also on this committee along with Carla Moran from Lubbock. The three of us have spent hours and hours and hours on the phone together. Of course, just like we're doing this interview now, everything seems to be conference calls or video calls, and that's all we've done. And we put together, we worked late last week. My days are running together now, I'm sorry. But we worked late last week through the weekend. We submitted a proposal to the governor's office, one proposal to reopen businesses early on Monday morning. And then, kind of tweaking it and fielding phone calls from, business owners, obviously a ton in the Lubbock area. But I've also had probably, 50 to 100 calls or text or emails from folks from all over the state. And I've yet to speak to one person that says, don't open us back up.
Sure.
But I would look for the governor to issue, some new executive orders from his office on Monday. Mm-hmm. And I'm very hopeful that is going to be that we can get businesses back up and running, from retail to restaurants to the personal services, nail salons, hair salons, and the like. And obviously, it's going to be different. It's going to, we're going to have to do that in a safe manner. And the social distancing is going to be a part of that, along with, you know, the use of masks and gloves and hand sanitizers and you know, kind of what our new normal that we've become accustomed to at this point.
I know a lot of folks were in your ear, as you said, and in the governor's ear as well, talking about getting things reopened quickly. Did you feel like, though, you had the authority as you put all this together to say we need to wait before we open this particular business sector, and that you thought that recommendation would be taken seriously when you submit it?
Absolutely. I mean, the governor didn't restrict us to saying to open or not open, and just to issue a plan. You know, the nuts and bolts of the plan that we issued was that you reopen retail, restaurants, and the personal services, as I had mentioned, with some guidelines, and we put those in there. For instance, in a restaurant, if they have a fancy menu that is reusable, those have to be sanitized after every use. Same with salt and pepper shakers or a ketchup bottle. Everything that's touched has to be sanitized after every use. You know, part of that recommendation is somebody that's on duty that's in charge of sanitation, and every touch point within that establishment, whether it's retail, business, or otherwise, has to be cleaned every 30 minutes. And I haven't hit all of them. That's just, you know, I mean, you kind of get the point of what the recommendations are. But I think the big issue is we've got to get Texas, and more importantly, as far as I'm concerned, West Texas and Lubbock back to work.
You understand the pressures of being in a local government setting, obviously, and oftentimes being forced into doing things by state and federal folks. In this case, should local governments, though, be given a little flexibility to say, because of our particular situation, maybe we should wait to open that later, but this now?
You know, one of the recommendations that part of the recommendation that we did send in to the governor was we have a big state, and we have a lot of different regions within our state. You know, we're Texas, depends on whose numbers you look at, is basically the world's 10th largest economy. So we're very diverse, very big. I'm not exactly sure, you know, obviously how the governor's going to issue his orders. If he's going to say you're free to open back up, but I'm going to pump that down to the local level and let them make the decision on how that works, or if the governor is going to say, you know, here are the rules, and you're free to open up on this date as long as you comply with these new mandates. So, but I can tell you, talking with you know, the folks locally that are on the mayor's committee, that the plan that those guys are working on is very similar to the plan that that we submitted to the governor. I've talked to maybe 12 to 15 of the committee members individually, and every single one of those is also on board that we've got to get back up and running. We don't have weeks, we have days to get our economy going again, or we're going to have mom and pop businesses in our rural communities especially, and as you know, living out in West Texas, when a mom and pop business closes down in Littlefield or Idalou, or they don't open back up.
Right.
And we've got to give those guys, we've got to get the playing field level with the other retail that are open, and give them a chance to survive.
You mentioned some of the safety requirements that will be part of all of this, but how much of this safety aspect now is just going to fall on citizens to do the right thing? Because obviously police and fire marshals can't be everywhere, regardless of what's open and what isn't, right?
We've had that discussion at length, and what I've said over and over and over again is we can't let a couple of bad eggs ruin this for everybody. So absolutely, businesses, employees, patrons of businesses, regardless of what it is, everybody's got responsibility in this.
Former Lubbock Mayor Mark McDougal, member of the Governor's Strike Force. We're going to let you go get some sleep. Have a good weekend. We thank you for your work, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks for what you do, Brian.